Bedford Berefa is the national spokesperson for the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. He joins me from Delta State. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for having me. First and foremost, we have to commend this laudable implementation or kickstarting of the refinery that has aged long for the last 27 years, has been on the pipeline, that stopped production for the last 27 years. So kudos to Mr. President and kudos to, thank you very much. So like I was saying, you know, it has been of concern for the last 27 years. And when the Bola Ahmed Tinubu government came on board, we also asserted our opinions, particularly seeing that our brother, our son, is the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, in terms of Senator Heineken Lokpobiri. And we also raised concerns to say that, you know, this, you know, need to come to the fore, that is production need to be on full speed, as it were. But kudos to him, he listened to advice by saying that bring technocrats yourself, bring people that have been in this business for long, you know, to surrounding yourself to ensure that this Port Harcourt refinery comes to a full production. And today, this is what it is. Though there are several controversies, which is expected. Of course, for the last 27 years, this thing has been moribund. What do you expect? There have to be, you know, some issues of pricing and all of that, and some other bottlenecks that needs to be covered. I'm sure that you know, with the production that is on full speed, of course, some of these concerns of pricing and all of that will come to bear. Technocrats and stakeholders must be consulted to ensure that, you know, the direction is given for pricing and other concerns to be put to rest.
All right, let's look at the impact of this, particularly on the region itself. We know that before now, there have been talks and calls that refinery comes into operation. There's also the issue of environmental impact, particularly on that region. How do you think this will be properly managed now that we have a functional refinery in that area? I know there's one basic concern or major concern is the issue of gas flaring, for instance.
All right, you know, gas flaring, there's a law that is behind that has said that royalties should be given to communities of issues of gas flare. You know, those are age-long issues. Of course, and the environmental concerns has been, you know, on board even before the refinery came to manifestation, as it were. So the issues of environmental impact assets, I'm sure before this refinery is coming on board, some of all of those environmental impact assets have been carried out, and the teams and the eyes have been dotted to ensure that there is an all-inclusive calculation to ensure that the environment is safe and production is also optimal. The Lagos refinery also has some of those environmental bottlenecks. But of course, as it is, those concerns we call on, you know, the NNPC, and we call on particularly our son who is from this region, Senator Lokpobiri, to look at these concerns and ensure that due diligence is done for environmental issues and other issues surrounding the functionality of the Port Harcourt refinery. Of course, like we all know, perfection is only a gift that is set aside for God alone, for the God entity. Of course, we are humans, and human error are bound to happen. However, continuous review of production and continuous review of the functionalities of the Port Harcourt refinery will give, you know, the needed solution and to ameliorate some of these concerns that are being, you know, fast spreading. But kudos to Mr. President, kudos to the minister for listening, for having listening ears, you know, to the region's cry to say that this refinery must come up to full speed. Billions of dollars have been sunk in. Now it is time for us to indeed participate and enjoy, you know, the dividend of democracy. This also coupled with the tax reform that is coming. It is coming very handy for us as, you know, as region, as Ijaw people. We are very happy that this refinery is coming on board.
But how does this? I'm sorry. I would also want to know, because I mean, you represent the Youth Council, for instance. How do you see this impacting on job creation for young persons?
Okay, for the Port Harcourt refinery, yes, there are multiplying effects of refinery, you know, in operational in the region. There are direct employment and indirect employment that will span up in the region. And like we have always told our youth, that we should prepare for opportunities by being educated, by carrying, you know, participating in strategic, you know, career choices that will be of help and need, for regional development and the national development. And this operational of the Port Harcourt Refinery has provided that opportunity for petrochemical engineers, have provided that opportunity for mechanical engineer, for civil engineer, and all other direct, and even the market women that sell pure water by the street. There will be that direct impact of the operation of this Port Harcourt Refinery, because at the time, you see that over 2,000, 3,000 or 5,000 persons are benefiting directly from the Port Harcourt Refinery, and by multiplier effect, over 50,000 persons will be indirectly affected by this Port Harcourt Refinery positively, to also speak to the financial and economic possibilities of the region and by and large the nation at large.
All right,
so it is a welcome development. We are hopeful, and we call on all you to build capacity so that they can also be useful as the operation
of this particular refinery. But I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Bedford Berefa, for your time on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful for having me, and thank you so much. And we hope that this is not another form of politics, but that it has come to stay. Port Harcourt Refinery has come to stay. By extension, the Warri Refinery should also come to operation, and by extension, every other sector that in Nigeria need to work. Because we are passionate Nigerians and we want Nigeria to work.
I mean, before I let you go, you said, let's hope that this is not another form of politics. Are you one of those who maybe believe or are pretty much skeptic as regards its operation? Do you have reservations?
Of course, something has been moribund for 27 years and has come to operation. Of course, we must have concerns, and skepticism is part of criticism, and skepticism is part of life. We must be empirical in our decision. We hope it's not another politics, because of course the Niger Delta and the Nigerian state has been playing politics. The politicians have been playing politics with their emotions, but we hope and pray this is not another gimmicks of the presidency, to sabotage their effort of billions of naira sink into this project. We are hopeful, and we know by the grace of God this will not be another politics, because it will have lasting impact on the economy of the nation, and particularly the Niger Delta region and the entire nation at large.
Bedford, do you see this impacting on the price of petrol, for instance, where at least now that the Port Harcourt Refinery is on, even though that there are concerns as regards the no price tag issue, do you see maybe in the shortest possible time it's impacting on the pump price of petrol in the country?
Of course, yes. Because when there's competition, it reduces price. The issue, for instance, the telecommunication company, when it was monopolized, of course, the issue of that monopoly was very strong. But as soon as it was decentralized, you could see competition bring down price. Or we see, speaking to the future of this Port Harcourt Refinery coming on board, I foresee price coming down. So even 14 naira per barrel, that is what per liter.
Sorry, did you say 14 or 14 naira? Sorry, be specific. Did you say 14? Did you say 14, 14 or 40 naira per liter?
40, I meant to say.
40
naira per liter.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
When we were making calls, it was huge amount of naira for 1 minute. I remember making calls for 200 naira per minute in my village. But of course now a call rate has reduced. Okay. So when there's competition, price usually must decrease.
Should drop. All right. Thank you so much for your time once again. Bedford Berefa is the national spokesperson for the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide. Once again, thank you for your time.